I'm running for district attorney, and I'm asking for your vote on Tuesday, May 21st, just a few days away. And Mike Thomas, wonderful. Thank you. That was a great introduction. You hit on a lot of the points. And there's a lot to talk about. We've seen each other many times in many places. In the several months we've been going at this, really almost half a year. But I want to talk at the beginning about what Mike mentioned at the end. Your district attorney, when he or she gets sworn in on January of 2014, has to be somebody who is of a mind to do justice, not of a mind to pay back favors. And I can tell you, when I do get sworn in as your district attorney, no one is going to be able to come and say, Mike Hadley, we got you elected, now you owe us a favor. Nobody. From the beginning of my campaign, we have made this a priority. We have known that you cannot go and ask for people's support who are going to be coming in front of me as the district attorney. I don't want them to say, hey, you got to go easy on this case, or you got to do this, or you got to do that because I helped you. So we haven't asked for that. We wouldn't accept it. We wouldn't try it if we could, because it isn't doing justice. And the district attorney has one goal, and that is to do justice, to do what is right, to protect the innocent, to convict the guilty, but to do it fairly, with no ulterior motives, no payback. You cannot be bought and paid for and be an effective district attorney, and that's the bottom line. You know, there's probably no more lonely office to run for than the district attorney's office. You know, you don't have all the money to build bridges and to do pork barrel projects and to give out perks to your friends. You've either got the defense lawyers mad at you or the police. You're either going to have the county commissioners on you about something or the municipalities. But if you come to the office, as I'm coming to the office, knowing that's what we're getting into, you'll be able to transition smoothly. My opponents, who think that it's going to be the most popular and likable job there is, are going to have a very rude awakening. And they're not going to be able to serve you well when they find out that it's not the dream job that they thought it was. So that is a major, major difference. Now, something else I want to talk about is economics. And people say to me, what does the district attorney have to do with economics and with prosperity and money? And the answer is this, that until you have law and order in the streets, you cannot grow this economy. It's that simple. We have to restore law and order to our community. Where I stand at this very moment is only a few blocks from where there have been armed robberies. There is an allegation of a rape in this very park only a few months ago. Stabbings over in the municipal parking lot. It is chaos in the streets, and I'm going to stop it. And when we start to turn it around, then businesses will know this is a good place to come. This is a safe place to come. Because, you know, we know that businesses think with their heads, and they make business decisions. But never underestimate the power of thinking with their heart. And when they know something's a good place, they'll stay. When they know things are working, they'll come. So it won't always just be a business decision with their head, it'll also be with their heart. So what is the culprit? This is an anti-drug rally because hard drugs are the culprit that are leading to this crime wave. I have a three-part plan. The 3 E's: enforcement, engagement, and education. Those 3 hallmarks of my plan are what's going to get this turned around. You realize right now we have a district attorney's office who sits at that courthouse and waits for crime to come to them. They wait for the crime to be committed, and then they react after the crime. Well, that's too late. I'm going to be out there well before the crime's committed, talking to the high schools, talking to the junior highs. I sat with some school board members the other day and told them that. They said, Mike, you better get to the elementary schools. They're having 11 and 12-year-old children having drug issues. So yes, I am going to get involved with the schools before the drugs take over someone's life. We have a DA's office now who's never met with any of the municipalities, has no liaisons to Oil City, Franklin, Emlenton. We have 33 municipalities, and they have no say-so. We're part of 7 or 8 different school districts. There's no connection. So my plan is to get involved, talk with them, have them, they've got their ear to the ground. What do they need? What can I give them? How can I help you? Enforcement. Enforcement means tough sentences for serious crimes. We've got to enforce the drug laws and put hard drug dealers in jail. We've got to go after them. It seems like what we've got now is every person who has a drug problem ends up in the system, but we never seem to catch any of the drug dealers. How do we never catch any of these drug dealers bringing in the weight in the heavy drugs? We know where they're coming from because I am the only candidate running who has a federal practice. I've seen the DEA reports. I've seen the FBI logs. We know what they're doing from Detroit to here. I've seen the phone records. I've seen the car rental records. We know how they're coming. Now let's get out and do something about it. That's what I can bring to the table that my opponents can't. So yes, enforcement, education, and engagement. People need to know if you have a drug problem, come down to my office. I'll work with you. I'll get you in counseling. I'll get you in substance abuse. My office has to be there not only to enforce, but to be involved before the crime is committed. Now we're heading down a home stretch. We got to get through 8 o'clock on Tuesday night. And there's a lot of work to be done. We've got 4 days to do it. And I need every one of you to do all that you can. We can win this election. The establishment is scared to death we're going to win this election. I have said at the Lincoln Day dinner that you can tell how well you're doing when you start getting a little resistance. And at that time I detailed some of the resistance, but it's really getting turned up now. From stealing our signs, to defacing our signs, to all kinds of other shenanigans that they're pulling because they're scared. They wouldn't be doing this if I was in last place and wasn't a threat. They're doing it because we are going to be in first place when they count all the votes on Tuesday night. So we need each of you to tell your friends, to distribute the literature, to get involved. Don't be afraid if you see someone to go up and say, this is a big race, Mike Hadley. Don't be afraid to reach out. If you're standing in line at the grocery store and there's someone in front of you and someone behind you, say, hey guys, I'm supporting Mike Hadley for DA. Would you join me? And we can do this. We've got a great team in Isaiah and Sandy for City Council. They are going to be on board. And how about a round of applause for both of them, please? And no one person can do it alone. We need you. I need the teamwork, the help. But I think we're going to get there. There's going to be about 5,000 Republicans go to the polls on Tuesday. In a 3-way race, we're going to need about 1,800. And we'll be home. And we'll win, and we'll be there, and we'll be able to do all of these things we talked about. Don't let the naysayers say we can't do this. We can forfeit the drug dealers' cars, houses, and money, and I know we can. You know, it was my vision when the newspaper asked, how would you judge your district attorney's term as a success. And I told them, and I'll tell you now, it'll be a success when the drug dealers know that Mike Hadley is the DA of Venango County and stay out of this county. This isn't a safe place for drug dealers. Get out of here. And we want to put together a team and a model that we can take all across the state and all across the country if necessary. We want to have that as a vision. So in conclusion, Tuesday is huge. It can be done. With your help, it will be done. Do everything you can. Leave no stone unturned. Act as if the entire election hinges on your efforts. And if you can do that, we can get this done. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Mike Hadley for District Attorney. Thanks for coming out, ladies and gentlemen.